They say the Wright brothers invented flight, but what if they didn't? Because 2 years before their famous flight at Kitty Hawk, another man might have already built and flown the very first airplane. He had no funding and no fame, just a wooden frame, a dream, and a homemade engine. His name was Gustave Whitehead, and if history hadn't erased him, every plane on Earth might be flying under a different name. The story starts in Bridgeport, Connecticut. In 1901, a German immigrant is working in his backyard, hammering together something that looks like a giant mechanical bat. His neighbors think he's insane, but this man, Gustave Albin Whitehead, isn't just tinkering. He's trying to fly. He builds his own engines out of scrap metal, lighter and more powerful than anything available at the time. He sews wings from silk, uses bamboo for the frame, and believes that flight isn't about magic. It's about math, muscle, and a whole lot of risk. And then one foggy morning in August 1901, he rolls his creation, the number 21 Condor, onto a field. According to witnesses, it took off. Local newspapers, like the Bridgeport Herald, reported that Gustave's flying machine rose about 50 feet into the air and flew for half a mile before landing smoothly. That's 2 years before the Wright brothers' flight in 1903. Eyewitnesses swore they saw it happen. The newspaper even printed a sketch of the event. But there was one crucial thing missing: a photograph. Without it, the world barely noticed. Meanwhile, the Wright brothers, backed by money and media, claimed their own success soon after. And Whitehead, he just kept building, testing, failing, and flying again, often in secret. He didn't care about fame. He just wanted to fly. Then something strange happened. Whitehead's name vanished from aviation history. He wasn't mentioned in textbooks. No recognition in museums. Even his designs and workshops mysteriously disappeared. Some say the Wright brothers' powerful patent lawyers buried his story to protect their claim. Others believe the Smithsonian Institution, which had a contract tied to the Wright estate, deliberately ignored him to uphold the Wrights' legacy. By the time Whitehead died in 1927, he was broke and known and forgotten, but the question never went away: what if he really did fly first? Decades later, new evidence surfaced: lost photographs, old interviews with eyewitnesses. Even engineers from NASA admitted that Whitehead's plane was aerodynamically sound and could have flown. Then, in 2013, the highly respected aviation magazine Jane's All the World's Aircraft reviewed the entire case. Their verdict: Gustave Whitehead did fly before the Wright brothers. Just like that, history cracked open. The Wright brothers, once untouchable pioneers, suddenly had competition from a man who couldn't even afford a proper workshop. But what if Gustave Whitehead's success had been recognized back in 1901? Imagine that timeline for a second. By 1910, flight could have been as common as bicycles. Commercial airlines might have started decades earlier. World War I would have been fought with advanced aircraft years before it even started. We might have seen global travel not in the 1950s, but in the 1920s. Humanity's obsession with space could have begun before World War II. In that alternate world, Gustave Whitehead isn't a ghost. He's a household name, the Einstein of aviation, the guy whose backyard machine changed the sky forever. Today, aviation historians still argue. Some swear by the Wrights, others quietly whisper Whitehead got there first. But in the end, maybe it doesn't matter who flew first. What matters is why they tried, because every dreamer who looked up at the sky and said, "I can do that," was chasing the same thing: freedom. And maybe, just maybe, Gustave Whitehead did take off on that foggy morning in 1901. Maybe he touched the clouds before anyone else. And when he did, the sky became just a little smaller, and the dream of flight became real for all of us. As he once said, if man is meant to fly, then all we must do is believe we can. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into forgotten history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that change the way you see the world.